How's it going, guys? I want to make an episode review for Bleach the Thousand Year Bloodwar episode 30 or episode 4 Cour 3. I'm probably going to do this weekly, and I want to make this like a discussion type videos where I go through what I like, what I don't like, the good, the bad, the story itself, the plot, the animation, just in general the episode, and give it a review. So this is basically a discussion / review of the episode. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree, what you also like, didn't like about the episode. There might be things I missed out as well in the episode, so let me know in the comments below. My review format is going to be a bit different to like a lot of people. I know a lot of people love to go through the synopsis, like the story and the plot of the episode first. I feel like we all watch the episode, so we don't really need to go through what happens, the narrative. I feel like we all know, we're aware what happens, we all watch the episode. I feel like that's a bit unnecessary. I want to go through the more important things about the cool details, things you have missed, amazing references, callbacks, new additions, animation, fight scenes, choreography, visuals, everything, music, sound design, you name it. But I will briefly go through what happens in the episode very quickly. Before we proceed, if you like this type of content, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, let's have a big discussion about this episode and for future episodes going forward. So the episode starts with a recap, like a very short recap of Ukitake and what happens in the previous episode, with Mimihagi, the organs getting infested. It looks like he's regurgitating Mimihagi, sending it all the way up to the Soul Palace to save the Soul King. This is my only major issue with this episode, is that the recap, we don't really need a recap. When we seen the episode just last week, I feel like it's unnecessary. This is the only major negative of the episode. But thankfully, it only takes about 2-3 minutes of recap, so it didn't take much of the episode itself. The Soul King looks like he's seemingly saved. And Yuha was trying to give the finishing blow and kill off the Soul King for good. Ichigo finally regained his body back, his control of his mind and his body. He started to retaliate. I'm glad he didn't give up. Even though he feels guilty and crap right now for slaughtering the Soul King, he's still trying to save him and basically save all worlds and stop Yuha. Yuryu had a cool scene coming in, get involved, trying to save Soul King with her new ass technique I've not seen before. But then someone's interfered. The Betrayer, as the episode title is named. Uryu comes in with the arrow, pierces Yorichi, interrupts her weird spell she was doing to keep hold of the Soul King intact, and she gets sent by Yuha. And then we see Chad, Orihime, and Ganju square up against the royal guards, the Quincy royal guards. They force them to use their goddamn Volstandish or Volstanding. But unfortunately, they also get sent. And then we go to the meat of this episode, which is Ichigo versus Uryu. They finally have their clash, their rivalry. This has been teased for many episodes, from the openings, from teasers, from being teased by Kubo. Not in the manga, by the way. We get an exclusive about 12 minutes of one-on-one Ichigo vs Uryu rivalry, fight scene and choreography, which is phenomenal. And the conclusion to the fight is Ichigo gets donutted. Actually, it's more like he got bitten like a strawberry, and he got the Toji treatment. So it looks like Uryu won the battle. I will go into what I think about this fight, what I think about the conclusion, if it makes sense. And towards the end of the episode, we had a Riz off. Uryu and Jugan trying to Riz each other up. And the after credit scene is Yuha finally giving a finishing blow off the Soul King, absorbing him like Majin Buu, and become even more broken. And we finally get to see his final iteration, his final form of Yuha Baha. He becomes eyeballs itself. So that's basically recap what happens in a quick rundown of the episode. Now I want to go through the secret stuff that's easily missed, the cool references, also my personal opinion of what I think about the episode, and give it a good review. I'll skip the recap part. That's the main negative of this episode. That's the only thing I didn't like, though it wasn't too bad. It only lasted 2-3 minutes, the recap with Ukitake. But I want to talk about this scene. This scene in particular is very cool. I didn't clock on the first time. This right here, it looks like Haki or Conqueror's Haki, and everything goes like inverted in color. But it's actually a spiritual pressure. It's how they're animating and visualizing the new spiritual pressure effects in the Thousand Year Bloodwar art style. Now, do I like it? Yes, I actually really love it, to be honest. Is it better than the original, the OG anime, the 2004 spiritual pressure animation? That's up for debate. Let me know again in the comments what you think about this, if it's better than the previous spiritual pressure visuals or not. For me, I admire that they're taking risk and trying to do something new with the Thousand Year Bloodwar art style and this animation. Visually, I think it's sick. I think it looks cool. When I first watched it, I thought it was only Yuha Baha specific, because it's like omnipotent. He's like a different level now. That could still be the case, because right now he's like a godlike being. But if it is the new spiritual pressure visuals and animation, I still really appreciate it, because it's something new, because we've seen time and time again the old spiritual pressure animation in the OG anime. at least there's something new in this. It didn't just recycle the old animation. I know, again, a lot of people will say, what's not broken, don't fix it, because there's no problems with the old animation, to be honest, for most people. But that still exists. If you really want to see that, that's in an old anime, 300 plus episode of it. The only issue I have with this is that it's very similar to Conqueror's Haki from One Piece, and a lot of people are making comparisons to it. They're saying, oh, Bleach is copying. That's a minority of the One Piece fandom that's saying that. They are right to a certain degree. It does look very similar, but I think the visual direction was amazing. Albeit very similar to Conqueror's Haki, but guess what? Hey, we got Kai and Ichigo here. Ichigo finally became Kai and Shiba. What's incredible about this spiritual pressure visual difference from the OG anime is that it looks more otherworldly. It looks more omnipotent, more godly. Literally the environments, everything's affected, everything changed color. That's how strong this spiritual pressure is, that the colors being distorted and tweaked. Like Ichigo got the black hair going on, and you got the particle effects, the little glitters. I think it's such a fantastic visual design. So ignoring nostalgia factor aside, I think this is comparable. I think this is nearly as good as the original effects and portrayal of the spiritual pressure. Even environment changes. That's such a sick ass design choice. Is it better than OG? You let me know in the comments below. But I think it's comparable. This is a very cool scene right here because Ichigo is controlled by Yuha's blood or Yuha's Quincy effect. But look, if you noticed, Ichigo actually uses his own blood, his own blue vein, Quincy blood, to overpower Yuha's control and regain his control of his body again. But it's a nice little look into his ability and him getting better control and being more accustomed to his Quincy abilities. This is going to connect to his fight with Uryu very soon. Very cool effects right here. Good compositing, good CGI use if it is. Again, amazing direction going on. This is from the trailer. That was such a funny scene when Ichigo's like gets a good tension or gets a good jujitsu and Yuha's like, bitch, stop that. Denied. He didn't even let Ichigo finish off his ability call out. So funny. He actually forced Ichigo to block. Normally he'll tank attacks, but this time he's like, no, I can't. It's Yuha. He's too strong right now. Again, the direction. Killing it. Uh-oh, who's this? Look at the startled face. It's Uryu Ishida. And Yorichi tanked that arrow, by the way. That blow to her shoulder, she tanked it. But unfortunately, that disrupted her technique she was doing right there to seal the Soul King or keep it intact. She just pulls off like it's nothing. Superiority right here. What I find hilarious is that Yuha spammed this move right here. You're just blasting everyone away. The no-look blast, that is cold. He did it to Ichigo and then he also did it to Yorichi. These items, these tools are very fascinating. I don't know where she's pulling this out. She's been storing, she's been getting all these items ready for these moments. She was stocked up. And Yuha, favorite move, where is it? Be gone! Be gone! This is very important, very essential in fact. He pulls off Mimihagi, but doesn't absorb it. For those who don't know, in the manga, he actually absorbs Mimihagi. So this is a strikingly huge difference to the source material. Detach it from the Soul King. And we don't know where it goes. He just throws it away. Did he kill it? We don't even know. But from what we've seen from the anime, from this episode, it doesn't look like he absorbs it. And I think this is a good thing because one, it nerfs Yuha in some degree. He needs to be nerfed in some way because in the manga, he becomes a bit too broken, man. He becomes so broken, everyone's confused and like very concerned how he's going to lose, especially for the final fight. Secondly, Mimihagi kind of like absorbs the body. It's like takes over your organs. It's the right hand of the Soul King. Its specialty is stillness, which basically means it stops things from growing and progressing. That's why Ukitaki's illness never got better or worse. But considering it can take over your body like a vessel, it makes a lot more sense for Yuha to dispose of it instead of absorbing it. But it's such a big difference from the source material. They're changing stuff. Then we got the ultimate 1v1. I think this is the only time they'll ever fight, by the way, so appreciate why it's here. And what an amazing job did the animator do here. This is probably my second favorite fight in the whole of the Thousand Year Bloodwar. I think number one, because right now it's a toss-up between this fight and Ichigo vs Yuha round 1 in the first division in Soul Society. Yamamoto is second or third favorite fight. Yamamoto vs Yuha has the best animation objectively, without a doubt. However, I kind of prefer fights where it's like hand-to-hand, sword-to-sword combat, sword play, where there's like good choreography going on. Yamamoto vs Yuha, that was more power versus power, one ability against the next. They weren't really having much contact with each other with their blades and swords. But in this case, they were getting close up each other, striking, dodging, attacking. And there's more to this fight in my opinion. Not to mention, this is all new, official content, all exclusive. So it's very foreign and new, not just anime only, but manga readers as well. And this scene is jokes. Whose idea is this? Ganju Orihime Chad versus the Royal Guards. Are you serious?
Are you serious?
I feel like the Royal Guards gave him too much mercy. I feel like that's a bit out of character. That's my major critique about the scene. But their combination, how they worked together was funny. And at least they're contributing more to this than they did in the manga. Ganju rarely did anything. especially Chad. But these guys are doing way more and they're not scared. So again, I appreciate their tenacity and their courage to actually fight against one of the strongest characters, some of the strongest characters in the whole show. They knew they don't have a chance in winning this fight, so they worked together for the plan to get him off the soul palace and make him fall. They ain't gonna be able to touch him. They know themselves they can't, especially after Zero Squad having an attempt to fight him and failing to beat them. But I gotta give my girl respected to be able to parry Gerald's slash. This slash was so strong, he's able to rip off those branches that Kiryu Hikifune made. She was able to repel it and deflect it quite easily. No harm to her shield either. And Chad coming in with uppercut of death. I gotta respect Chad here because he did not want to get close. He didn't want to actually land a punch against them like actual physical contact because he knows he would get wrecked. Instead, he resorted to punching from far and sending out a blast wave, did nothing. But the main purpose of Chad was to distract them so that Ganju can do the sandstorm and send them down. Funnily enough, even though they did nothing, no harm to them, because of Quincy were falling and they can't fly, they were forced to use their while standing, their wings, in order to stay up. So at least they did something. For an anime only scene, I think it's quite good. And it gives these guys more screen time. Personally, it's a bit out of character for the royal guards to not kill him mercilessly. They actually showed him mercy here. Bye bye. Be gone. They had a very good attempt, I give them that. Phenomenal choreography. Absolutely insane. Look at this. I forgot who did this. I think Yuki Sato. She needs to be on board more. We need to get these animes more, please. I want to talk about this. This is crazy detail right here. Look at this. Lictor Reagan. Where's his bow? There's no bow in these exchanges. Ichigo did say and mention that Uryu is sending out arrows without using a bow. Very reminiscing to Yuha's ability, because Yuha can summon a big ass arrow out of the blue, no bow, summon an arrow, sends it out, and Uryu's doing the exact same thing. So this is an insane buff to Uryu. He doesn't need a bow anymore. That'll make him fast to send out arrows, and it looks like his arrows are stronger in general. Additionally, what makes this cool, if you compare to his first leaked Reagan in the Thousand Year Bloodwar anime, which is episode 1 of Cour 1, he used it against those fodder hollows back in the world of living when they first introduced all the characters again or reintroduced them. Now this is the exact same technique, similar angle as well, where he's like upside down. But the only difference is now he's upgraded. He doesn't need a bow anymore. He just uses his hands. He gets his hands together and spreads out, which looks badass compared to previously where he uses a bow instead. This just shows his evolution and his prowess, his techniques, his abilities, and he's just much stronger now. Crazy, the traps he sets up, just like he always did in his old fights in OG anime. But look at this, how he tries to corner him, shooting from the front because he's trying to distract him from the back, trying to force Ichigo to run in towards him. Again, another trap. It's like a trap in a trap. Good way to portray Uryu's fight IQ right here. But look, when he shoots him right in front of him, blue vein. This got me gassed in my episode reaction because I'm like, finally Ichigo's getting tapped into his Quincy abilities. He's finally using more of his Quincy techniques and strengths that he never used in the manga, or he rarely used it. Blue Vein, from what I remember, he only used it against the first scuffle he had against Yuha, round 1 in Soul Society when Yuha stabbed in the neck. He unintentionally used Blue Vein. This time he intentionally used it. He meant to use it, Blue Vein, protect him from the arrow that Uryu sent. This linked to the previous scene we had with Yuha trying to control his body with his Blue Vein, his Quincy blood, Yuha's Quincy blood, and Ichigo regaining his body again by controlling his Quincy blood instead and overpowering Yuha's effects. Another demonstration of Ichigo finally getting used to his Quincy abilities and powers. Cool shot. You can tell Ichigo was holding back in this episode. He was not trying to confront him or harm him in any way. He was trying to get him to the corner, especially here. It was 1v1, nobody's around. I'm guessing Jugram is watching though. This is the exact same area as well, so Jugram's watching him, so you can't, if you know in the manga reasons, I don't want to spoil. This angle right here, this looks like the POV from Jugram's perspective, because he does look from here when Uryu activates his Vol Standing. But Ichigo forces him, corners him, forces him to use Vol Standing, powers up, and unlike Senjumaru's fights, where it looks like incomplete Vol Standing, he's actually in complete form here. I think with Senjumaru's case, because of the red eyes with the Shift A, antithesis. I think that's what messed up his Vol Standing. He can't use both interchangeably or together. It might be too taxing on his body. This scene is a bit different. No Shift A, no antithesis, no red eyes. He just goes into Vol Standing, so he has better control, unlike the Senjumaru fight. Uryu is looking very angelic here. Bro, what in the world? I know there's a trend going on with Ryukin Ishida, but Uryu is looking glamorous here as well, no lie. Now, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I want to discuss. His use of his Vol Standing is incredible. He used that Byakuya, was a bit different. his arrows becomes drones. He sends out millions, thousands, whatever they are, amount of drones at Ichigo. Instead of attacking them like arrows or controlling like Byakuya does with the blossoms, instead it surrounds Ichigo and shoots out these energy blasts. It's literally like drones. Even the sound design, by the way, the sound design for these arrows, fantastic. Like whoever's doing the sound design in these episodes and doing stellar job. They look like snowflakes at first. When I watched, I was like, what the heck? Halloween's around the corner, mate. It's not Christmas yet. Look at these shots, man. Look at this. That looks like a shot you see in like a Dark Souls game. And you see the Dark Souls boss doing his cinematic intros, or they go into phase 2 of the fights. It's very similar energy right here. Same energy. I wish this was translated because I don't know what to say, but this probably explains the technique of Yoruichi, the technique she used to try and save the Soul King. This Ukitake scene is saddening, mainly because he's actually suffering, experiencing pain every second that passes just to keep the Soul King alive. But unfortunately, it doesn't last long, which is a good and a bad. Good for Ukitake's sake because he didn't need to suffer any pain anymore, enjoy any suffering anymore. But bad because all the worlds are just about to collapse now. Like I said before, Jugam's observing this fight. He's keeping an eye on Uryu. He's testing his loyalty here. And he's probably testing his strength if he's worth being the chosen one that Yuha picked and being appointed to Shift A Antithesis. Or like Uryu likes to say, Antiphasis. This is also showcase Ichigo's speed right here because he's powering every attack. But eventually, Uryu's drones hits him and disarms him. Then he gets a fat rose. I'm telling you, man, this is like a Dark Souls boss. Here we go, my favorite choreography here. But this particular anime, he or she normally animates Black Clover fights. And I'm telling you, don't sleep on Black Clover fights. They have some of the best fights in shonen. It's actually incredible. It's insane. They're fighting for real. I'm telling you, get these guys. Studio Period, whoever you are that manages these episodes, please get these animes more on board. We need them. They were in so many Black Clover episodes. So if they're able to be on board for Black Clover, which was like a weekly episode that went on for like years, they should be able to come on board here, man. I know Studio Period has the power to do so, especially Studio Films now, or Period Films. So they must have better budget now, more power to get more animators on board and more involved in these episodes. It was also explained by Yuki Sato, who was given complete freedom to animate her cuts, which is understandable because it's anime only scenes. I know TYBW does give some references, some ideas for the fights and how the fight should play out, but this gives a lot of liberty, a lot of leeway for these animators to do what they want. So these animators probably have more fun, more motivation, more drive to animate even better and add some cool ass scenes to these fights. That's what's good about anime only scenes. They persuade a lot of animators to be more involved in the Thousand Year Bloodwar and more talent on the Thousand Year Bloodwar anime. I'm telling you, this is such a Black Clover scene. Even how these beams look, this beam look like with the Wizard King's ability. The light ability. Actually, not Wizard King, that one elf. Sorry, the elf's ability with the lights. The wing and the wall standing is very familiar to Asta's transformation as well. Look at this. Look at the freaking direction. That's cinema right there. That is cinema. Ichigo's face looks very Black Clover-like as well. Freaking love the animation here. Guy got the classic anime glare glasses going on. Even more use of Uryu's new techniques and abilities he's acquired as a result of Yuha's blood. I also believe he trained off screen because a lot of the techniques is crazy. Like, where did he learn this from? What's a very small detail that you might miss? Look at the explosion. What does it look like? It looks like the Quincy pendants. It's the exact same design. Look, it looks like the Quincy pendant right here. I'll put a comparison, but it's way too identical to not be intentional. Like 4 stems going out and then a circle around it. Come on, that has to be intentional. And that's so jokes. Nobody talks about this. That is meant to replicate the Quincy pendant. And the final clash, or the penultimate clash, we get a Getsuga Jujisho versus, whatever you call this, Stern and Stab. Another new Quincy technique. He's pulling out all the stops here. He's pulling out all the abilities. Where did he get this from? I don't know if this is from the old anime. I can't really recall, but it seems new to me. I can't really tell what happens in the scene as well, because it looks like they have a beam struggle or beam class from Dragon Ball Z here. And from what it looks like Getsuga Jujisho goes through it, but it passes through Uryu. Like, look, it looks like it's gonna hit Uryu. In the next scene, he dodges it. So what does that mean? Did he use antithesis here to direct it to someone else? Did he dodge it? Did his attack make it move to the side? Which it might be the case. I think the Stun Storm, whatever you call it, the Quincy attack that he just summoned, I think that was able to divert the direction of the Jujisho to the right, as a result missing Uryu. That's what I believe is what happened. Very smooth, Uryu, very smooth. And then the final exchange between the two. Anything goes monotone, black and white, you know it's getting serious, no music. Sent straight through his abdomen. Now, do I like this fight? Hell yes, I love this fight. Incredible fight. One of my favorite fights in the whole of Bleach, not just Thousand Year Bloodwar, the whole of Bleach. But the conclusion and the story, the plot, I'm fine with it. I know people have issues with Ichigo losing, like how did he lose? But it's clear as day he's holding back. He doesn't want to fight Uryu right here. He wants to save him. It's that Naruto versus Sasuke again, where Sasuke wasn't holding back as much, but Naruto was. But even then, I think Ichigo was holding back more than Naruto is in this case. Like, you see him sweating, like he doesn't want to go. Like right here, he got his sword up. He could easily speed blitz Uryu right now and get up his face, but he doesn't want it. He's just holding back. He's contemplating like, oh my god, I don't want to fight him, but I need to fight him. Like, that's the only way to stop him, because he's not listening to reason right now. He's not listening to my words. Also, you gotta take into account, he did just fight Yuha just now. He came from battling Yuha, getting his ass whooped, getting wrecked. He used the Getsuga in that fight as well, so he's probably tired. Not just getting his ass whooped, but also using a lot of energy and a lot of exposed pressure. They were going everywhere in the Soul Palace area. You can't even forget that he was mentally getting destroyed as well, feeling the guilt, killing the Soul King, getting controlled by Yuha. He's having a tough time here, man. And he has to balance all that with trying to reason with Uryu, trying to speak to him, trying to understand him, trying to get him back, and fighting Uryu at the same time. Ichigo never has a break these days, man. He never has a break at any arc. He always getting punished, bro. And this is not the end of it, by the way. For manga only, there's gonna be more to it. There's gonna be more mental struggles he's gonna face soon, and physical struggle. And that's it. Off he goes. Now, how is he gonna be saved, and what's gonna happen next? So my two theories mainly is Orihime, right? Where's that meme? I seen that meme. I'll put it somewhere. Save Ichigo Kurosaki, Orihime in a way. It's time for her to shine a bit more. Either that or Senjumaru, maybe, if she's still alive. I don't know if ichibei revived her or not. But I remember she was able to seal those holes that little borrowed X-axis did to Uetsu. Basically gave him the noodle treatment, put the noodles in, put super glue. So it could be Senjumaru that sealed this hole, but it's most likely going to be Orihime. I think that's my best bet, especially when I'm sure they're going to have interaction in the next episode with certain characters I don't want to spoil yet. You'll see in the next episode. If you want to know, if you just look at my spoiler video, the early previews, I go into in depth about what's going to happen in the next episode. Then we got a title card, and this shot, I love this shot. Jugram and Uryu have not stare off. They were trying to riz, bro, the ultimate riz. The stern face, no smile, straight face, looking at each other, no expression, no voice acting. So funny. I like that they're setting that up for the future. Here we go, he pulls it off, Mimihagi disperses, disappears, evaporates, and Ukitake, it looks like he's over now. It looks like the end of Ukitake forever. And they all do the spirit bomb here, send the energy to Yuha, send me your energy to form the ultimate Excalibur, slash down, and it's over. Break the shackle, break the crystal, and we finally get to see his body, the two bodies, the slash that Ichigo did. We get the two portion of the bodies, and it gets absorbed. Final shot, we finally get to see Yhwach, final form. This is one of my favorite poems, is Aizen's poem. His voice is so ASMR. The control, the deepness, the tone of his voice, the voice actor did an incredible job with Aizen, man. To those who know not the absence of power, look towards the sky with your shattered ego. The one sky that no one could enter until the king was roused from his slumber. Basically, Aizen just made a poem about himself. His ego got shattered because he lost against Ichigo, and the guy's tweaking, bro. The guy got one of the biggest crash out in anime ever. It's so funny. Looking towards the sky, I'm guessing that's like the next episode, especially the Soul Palace. That's his goal. The one sky that no one could enter except for Chad, Orihime, and Ganju. Can you believe that? Those three got to the Soul Palace before Aizen. So funny. Until the king was roused from his slumber. The king is sleeping. He's in a vessel. He's in a crystalline vessel. Very unfortunate if you know the history of Soul King. And that's it. Against the judgment. And we see the title call for the next episode. Bleach episode 31. The arrow points up. What does that mean? Spoilers by the way for the next episode. Aizen may be using Ryatsu going all the way up to the Soul Palace and bringing it down. Or it could be Urahara and a gang trying to go up to the Soul Palace. But it's called Against the Judgment. Which tells me it's directing to Aizen. The next episode, if you don't know, is going to be very Aizen heavy. I wish we got the Return of God. How do you not get that title name, man? How do you not get that title card? It's a perfect title name for an Aizen episode. Oh well, maybe in the future, who knows. But that's it. I want to go through stuff that people might have missed. One of the best episodes in the Thousand Year Bloodwar, Cour 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give this rating a 9 out of 10. While it's amazing, it's not perfect, but that's me being critical and being nitpicky. The Ukitake is only a major negative, and even then that only lasted 2 minutes, so it's not too bad. the Okisaki recap. My major nitpick is the fights, and what I mean by the fights, I mean the OST, the music they use for the fight. One of the music I used in ichigovsuryu in this fight, they use against Yamamoto vs Yuha, Ichigo vs Yuha round 1 in Soul Society, Ichigo vs Yuha round 2 in the Soul Palace, and now they use the Ichigo vs Uryu. There's 4 times they use the same music. Come on, Shiro Sagisu, cook some more music now for these fights, these big clashes. I don't know why they're not reusing old OSTs. I don't understand that. I don't know if they don't have the rights for it, which would be weird because Shiro Sagisu's on board. He should be fine, I'm guessing. The only time they do is only for remixes. If they remix it, if they don't, they never use it. Now, I want my Stand Up Be Strong to come back, please. I want the Espada music to come back, especially for the next episode. If you know, next episode, bring it back. But that's my major nitpick is the OST and music. We need some new music, some bangers. I love Yamamoto theme song they used in the start of this fight. I love that one. But I can't wait for next episode. Let's see if next episode is going to be a 9 out of 10. Let's see if it's going to be better than this. Even though it's not action heavy for next episode. However, it's going to be Aizen heavy. And he's one of the best characters in Bleach. He's the best villain for me in Shonen, without a doubt. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, let's have a big discussion about this episode and for future episodes going forward. So I'll catch you guys next time.